what should be your planning of improving your communication skills within 30 to 90 days in step by step way? Now, you need to simply focus on understanding one important thing. First thing first, whenever we need to develop any specific skill, what do we need? We simply need one important thing. And that important thing is nothing but we should be able to understand what is the core requirement. I'll give you a simple example. Let's say you go to the restaurant and you want to order some food. You want to order some starter and then you order some main course. So the first thing that you focus on is your requirement. What do you prefer today? Now you will simply order some kind of food, and then on the basis of your requirement, it will be served to you. In the same kind of way, when it comes to improving our skills, the most important thing that you should start with is something that you need to focus on. Now, what is that thing? Where exactly the problem is. If you understand, you need to focus on the basic first, or you can directly focus on the problem with your words, vocabulary, or any other specific point, you will be able to understand how exactly you can start this journey. See, I have seen so many people in my life, they want to our core requirement. Now, if you focus on too many things at the same time, you'll not hit the target because you will be completely confused and you will not be able to focus on one specific thing. Are you getting my point? This is very important thing. Don't make it clumsy. Declutter your lifestyle so as your communication skills. Any skill that you need to develop in your life, you simply need to focus on identifying the core requirement. And that is very important thing. I'll tell you my personal experience. When COVID happened, I decided that I need to open my YouTube channel. I need to start my YouTube channel. And I went ahead with that process. Now, the first thing that I focused on is how I can record my quality videos using my normal phone. I had Samsung phone at that time. I still have that particular phone. Now, first thing that I did is I adjusted my camera. I just kept it on the books. I had certain books at that time. So everyone has those particular books which you used in your engineering or your graduation or post graduation. I simply kept those books. I kept my phone and I started recording. So the first thing I focused on is whenever I record my video, how do I look? How do I look? If I focus on looking at myself in my own video, I will be in a position to see myself that in the same kind of way people are able to look at my videos. How do I speak? How do I look? Do I have expressions on my face? Do I use my hand gestures and all of the stuff? So the moment I recorded my first video, I started getting inputs from that particular video. And this is really important. Now, when it comes to your communication skills or whenever it comes to your English language, you simply need to focus on one important thing. And that important thing is nothing but every time you try to communicate, are you able to focus on basic accuracy of your sentences? Or are you making your common mistakes into be or to have? Whenever you try to speak, do you face difficulties when it comes to using am, are, was, were, and will be? Do you have difficulties in terms of using has, have, had, or will have? I would say this is what you should be clear about at the basic level. Because every time you need to communicate, every time you need to talk with any person, you should be in a position to see that whenever you try to start your sentences, are you able to make sentences fast, immediately, without thinking too much about it? If you need some time on thinking, it clearly specifies that you simply need to focus on looking at the basic, the foundation, which is very important thing. Once you work on your foundation, or for some people, those who are attending, those who are watching this, you will be able to see that you're clear about your basics. Now let's move to the intermediate part. Now, most common mistakes which people make is about the practical tenses. Now, if you are clear about how to use to be and to have, focus on the four forms of the main verb in combination with to immediately without thinking too much about it. If you need some time on thinking, it clearly specifies that you simply need to focus on looking at the basic, the foundation, which is very important thing. Once you work on your foundation, or for some people, those who are attending, those who are watching this, you will be able to see that you're clear about your basics. Now let's move to the intermediate part. Now, most common mistakes which people make is about the practical tenses. Now, if you are clear about how to use to be and to have, focus on the four forms of the main verb in combination with to be and to have. Because that's how we make sentences to be and to have. Because that's how we make sentences based on practical tenses. Now, if you get clarity about how I can use the most useful tenses as per my requirement in different situations in my real life while writing your emails, trust me, your confidence will be automatically built up and you will be in a position to communicate effectively. It can be in your email writing or it can also be in your real life conversations because you have to match the way you communicate with people. That is the most important thing. And when it comes to intermediate level, I want you to focus on accuracy of prepositions, articles, and conjunctions. These three things are very important. If you take care of these three things, you will be in a position to improve the accuracy at intermediate level. I have seen many people in my life, they don't understand how to use prepositions correctly. They don't understand how to use articles correctly. And they also have lots of issues and confusion when it comes to basic conjunctions. Now, what I'm talking about, basic conjunctions means you should be able to understand and you should be able to use, or you should be able to see how we can use because, but, and rest of the conjunctions. Now, it's not only about conjunctions. Look at the two important sides. First, practical grammar. Now, if you see conjunction, let's understand but is the conjunction. Now, what is the importance of communication skill? Communication skill is all about using your effective pauses. Now, if you're using the conjunctions, you should be able to apply short pause whenever we use conjunctions, like a comma in the sentence. Whenever we use comma, what is the meaning of that particular comma? Let's say I'm telling you the list of certain things. You need accuracy, voice modulation, intonation. Are you able to observe me? I'm saying a specific thing, I'm listing them down, and I'm taking a short pause. So whenever we write something in our emails or in our notebook, we use commas to indicate that it's a list. And whenever we use that particular comma in our practical communication, we need to use it as a short pause. So next time, whenever you will be able to use conjunctions, make sure that you should be able to focus on a short pause. And this is very important when it comes to your daily life communication. Now, this is not only applicable for English communication, but this is also applicable when it comes to your native language conversation. Let it be you speak Marathi, you speak Hindi, Bengali, Telugu, Malayalam, whatever it may be. It can be any language. But every time you speak, make sure that you use your ability to communicate with people in your native language as well and in English as well. This is a very important thing. And when it comes to advanced grammar, now in intermediate, you can also add basic modal verbs, request and permissions. But when it comes to advanced grammar, you need to take care of how people use could have plus V3, should have plus V3, would have plus V3, may have plus V3, again, must have plus V3. It's very simple. But unless you use them in your life, you will not have any kind of confidence. This is very important thing. So once you get this clarity that yes, I can use them in this particular situation or in multiple situations in my life, these are the situations where I often use them. Trust me, you will build your confidence automatically. Also focus on indirect speech, and before that also focus on active and passive voice sentences when it comes to your advanced grammatical structures. So at certain stage, whenever you feel stuck, you are not able to understand how to frame sentences, it means that you need to work on the foundation, intermediate, and the advanced grammar wherever you feel your requirement is. Along with that particular thing, you will be in a position to see that if I'm able to understand this thing, I'm also able to understand how I can communicate effectively when it comes to any situation in your life. But the most important thing is you have to focus on taking action consistently. Every single person should be able to focus on taking efforts every single day. It's all about daily practice. It's all about focusing on learning at least one thing by spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Go to our silver membership course, learn it, spend some time. There is lots of material available. Just focus on improving yourself every single day. This is very important thing. Now, if you understand this thing, start working on yourself. And the first point is understand the requirement. Do you need something to improve, or do you need something to learn at basic level, intermediate level, or the advanced level? It can be anything. I hope you will start working on this and you will also get clarity about improving yourself every single day.